I'm not letting go of my ex, deal with it. I said, okay, she smiled. Anish tales, and this is where a lot of people would try one more time. I didn't. She thought I was agreeing. She actually relaxed, smiled at me and said, good, I knew you'd understand. Then I said, I understand you're choosing him. So I'll go solo from here. That smile vanished fast. What does that mean? It means you keep your ex, I keep my dignity, we're done. That was the whole breakup, maybe 3 minutes. 2 years over in the time it takes to microwave leftovers, and honestly, by that point, it should have happened sooner. I was 29, she was 27. We'd been together 2 years. Met through mutual friends at a barbecue, hit it off immediately, moved fast. She was funny, smart, creative, the kind of person who could make a story about a terrible client sound entertaining. For most of the relationship, things felt solid. Then about 6 weeks ago, her ex came back. They dated for 4 years before me. According to her, he was immature, unstable, always chasing the musician dream instead of growing up. She said she ended it because she needed someone more grounded. Fine. Everybody has a past. He texted her out of nowhere saying he'd changed. Said he had a real job now. Wanted closure. Wanted to apologize. She even showed me the first few messages like she was being transparent and said she just wanted to hear him out. That part I believed, so when she met him for coffee, I didn't make it a thing. Then coffee turned into regular texting. Then regular texting turned into constant texting. His name was always on her phone. Good morning texts, late night conversations, memes, inside jokes. That whole easy, familiar rhythm people only have when feelings never really died, they just got parked for a while. I brought it up once, maybe 3 weeks in. I said, you and your ex are talking a lot lately. She got defensive immediately. We're friends now. Adults can be friends with their exes. I said I knew that, but this felt excessive. She was texting him more than she was texting me. She said I was being insecure. That word started showing up a lot. I let it go, mostly because I didn't want to become the guy arguing with his girlfriend over every buzz of her phone. But once that word gets used on you enough, you start second-guessing your own eyes. Then Friday happened. We had dinner plans. She canceled last minute and said she was exhausted from work and needed a quiet night to decompress. I told her no problem. Get some rest. 3 hours later, she posted an Instagram story. She was at a concert with him, wearing the dress she had bought for our date. I saw it, screenshotted it, and said nothing. That should have told me everything. The next day, she came over acting completely normal, so I asked how her restful night in went. She froze for half a second. Then she said her ex had an extra ticket at the last minute, and she figured I wouldn't be into that kind of music anyway. Not sorry, not even embarrassed, just straight into justification. I still didn't end it there, which now feels generous to the point of stupidity. Then came Tuesday. We were both at my place, supposedly working from home. I was in the living room answering emails. She was on the couch with her laptop. Her ex called, not texted, called. She answered immediately, got up, went into my bedroom and shut the door. She stayed in there for 43 minutes. I know because I stared at the clock the entire time, feeling something in me go from irritated to tired to done. When she came out, she was smiling, sat back down like nothing had happened, didn't mention the call at all, so I did. I said, I need to talk to you about your ex. She rolled her eyes. Actual eye roll. Here we go again. I told her she lied about Friday, told her she was talking to him constantly. Told her spending almost an hour on the phone with your ex in your boyfriend's bedroom is not normal friendship behavior. She said I was being controlling. I said he wasn't just some male friend. He was her ex of 4 years, and she was clearly still emotionally wrapped up in him. That was when she crossed the line that made everything easy. She stood there with her arms folded and said, I'm not letting go of my friendship with him just because you're insecure. Deal with it or don't, but I'm not changing. No apology. No discussion. No pretending to care how it looked from my side. Just a direct order, accept disrespect or leave. And weirdly, the second she said it, I felt calm, not hurt, not angry, clear, So I said okay, and she thought she won. That's the part I keep coming back to. She was genuinely relieved. She really believed I was going to do what I had apparently been doing for weeks, swallow the discomfort, doubt myself, and keep showing up while she kept one foot in another relationship. Most people know the truth before they admit it. I think I had known for a while. So when I told her I was done, panic hit her face almost instantly. "You're breaking up with me." "Yeah, over this." "No, over the lying, the disrespect, and you telling me to deal with it." Then she started crying, told me she thought I was different, told me she thought I trusted her. I said I did trust her. Then she lied about Friday. She tried minimizing it, said it was one time. I asked how many other times she had needed alone time and actually went to see him instead. She said nothing. Her face answered for her, so I told her to leave. She actually tried claiming my apartment was hers too because she was there all the time. It wasn't on the lease. She didn't pay rent. It was my place, and suddenly that fact mattered a lot. The tears turned into anger. She told me I was throwing away 2 years over nothing, said I'd regret it, said nobody would put up with my jealousy issues. Then at the door she hit me with, "I'm a catch and you just screwed yourself." I said, "Doubt it." And that was that, or at least it should have been. Within hours she was posting on Instagram about how her boyfriend had chosen his ego over love. I blocked her on everything, her number, Instagram, Snapchat, done. And for about 18 hours I felt mostly relieved. Then the circus started. She used her sister's phone to call me after I blocked her. First thing she said was, "Finally. Why did you block me? That's immature." That sentence told me we were never going to have a real conversation. I asked if this was my ex borrowing somebody else's phone to violate a boundary. She said I never let her explain. I said she had 3 weeks to explain and used them to lie and call me insecure. Then I hung up and blocked the sister's number too. Next came the best friend, telling me there had been a misunderstanding and I should hear her out. Then her mother, leaving a voicemail about how her daughter had made a small mistake and I was punishing her like she committed a crime. Everybody around her had the same disease. If she did it, it got smaller. If I reacted to it, that got bigger. Then a mutual friend pulled me aside and showed me the group chat where she was telling people I dumped her out of nowhere because I couldn't handle her having male friends. I showed him the screenshots, the canceled date, the concert, the timeline. His expression changed immediately. Funny how controlling gets harder to sell once the details show up. That night she came to my apartment with takeout from my favorite Thai place. I didn't open the door. She stood in the hallway knocking, crying, saying we were good together, saying I was throwing everything away because I was stubborn. I texted her through Google Voice and told her to leave or I'd call the building manager. She left the food outside with a note. The note was almost impressive in how perfectly it captured her mindset. She was sorry for lying, but I was also wrong for not giving her a chance to fix it. We were supposed to be a team. She loved me. She would always love me. Even in the apology, she was still splitting blame like a billing statement. I kept the screenshots, threw away the note. Then she escalated. A couple days later, I came downstairs around 7 in the morning and found her sitting in my building lobby waiting for me. Hair a mess. Yesterday's makeup. Coffee in hand. Like camping outside your ex's apartment was a normal way to begin the day. She said she had been thinking and wanted to communicate her needs clearly. I told her my need was for her to leave me alone. She followed me outside anyway, crying, saying I was cruel, saying I didn't care she was hurting. That was one of the few moments I actually turned and said exactly what I thought. "You're hurting because you're facing consequences. That's not my problem anymore." She said she wasn't cheating, that they were just friends. I said cool story and kept walking. That same night her sister called to tell me my ex was barely eating, crying constantly, and might hurt herself over this. That part made me stop cold. Not because I believed I should take her back, because threats like that are manipulative as hell. I documented it immediately. Then her mother started texting threats about dragging me publicly, and a few hours later my ex posted on Facebook about narcissistic abuse. According to her, I had isolated her from friends, controlled who she talked to, abandoned her when she set healthy boundaries. It was upside down in a way that almost made you admire the commitment. Some people believed her, some didn't. The ones with functioning brains noticed the story sounded too perfect. My buddy's girlfriend commented something about her ex-boyfriend she'd been sneaking around with, and that comment disappeared fast. Then the best friend showed up at my building with a 3-page handwritten letter from my ex. The letter was unreal. According to her, she had done nothing wrong. Her ex was just a friend and always would be. I was destroying something beautiful because of insecurity, and she was willing to forgive me if I apologized and went to couples counseling. Then, the last paragraph. She gave me until Friday to call her so we could start fresh. If I didn't, she would know I never really loved her and would move on. An ultimatum. From the woman I broke up with for giving me an ultimatum. That was the moment I called a lawyer. He told me to keep documenting everything and said if she showed up again, I had grounds for a protection order. Friday came and went. I obviously did not call. Saturday morning she came back to my building, with her ex. That was the strongest confirmation beat in the whole thing, and honestly, I couldn't have scripted it better if I tried. The doorman called up and said my ex-girlfriend was downstairs with a male companion demanding to see me. I told him to call the police. Then I went downstairs with my phone recording in my pocket. She was standing there looking defiant. He looked uncomfortable, like he had just realized he might have wandered into the wrong story. She immediately said I had until Friday. I said she had until the moment I blocked her to respect boundaries, and she failed that. Then she introduced him, like that mattered, like I had been dying to know his name. He started talking about communication issues. Said she told him we had broken up before the concert. Said she said I couldn't handle her having guy friends, so I opened my phone and showed him the screenshots. The canceled date, the concert story, the timeline, and I watched it hit him in real time. He looked at her and said, "You told me you were single." She said she was emotionally single. That was the point where even he looked embarrassed to be standing next to her. Then the police showed up. The officers asked if she was on the lease. She wasn't. Asked if I wanted her trespassed. I did. She kept crying and saying she just wanted to fix the relationship. I told them there was no relationship to fix. I had ended it. Repeatedly. Clearly. The officer told her to leave or be charged. Her ex finally took her arm and got her moving. I handed the officers everything. Screenshots, call logs, the Facebook post, notes, dates, all of it. Monday morning, I filed for a protection order. It was granted temporarily the same day. She cannot contact me. Cannot come near my home or workplace. There will be a hearing, but with everything documented, the lawyer said it will probably hold. And the funniest part, if there is one, is that her ex emailed me afterward. Short message. Said he was sorry. Said she told him we were already broken up. Said once he realized she lied to both of us, he cut contact. Said I handled it better than he would have. I didn't reply. There was nothing left to say. Because by then the answer to the only real question in this story was obvious. Yes, she chose him. Not in one big dramatic moment, in 100 smaller ones first. In the constant texting, in the lies, in the canceled date, in the private calls, in telling me to deal with it. And then in showing up at my building with him standing right there like I was still supposed to compete for a relationship I had already ended. That is not regret. That is entitlement. It's been quiet since the order got served. First peaceful day I've had in 2 weeks was the day after. My boss knows enough to keep an eye out. The doorman knows not to let her up. My buddy has been solid through all of it. We mostly ate pizza, watched basketball, and didn't overanalyze it, which helped more than long speeches ever could. And me, honestly, I'm tired. Not heartbroken the way I thought I'd be after 2 years. Just tired. Disappointed. A little grossed out by how quickly somebody can turn your reasonable boundaries into a villain's story when they don't get their way. But I don't regret ending it, not even a little. Every time I almost felt bad, she did something new that reminded me exactly why I left. showing up at my building, using other people's phones, public smear posts, the letter, the ultimatum, bringing the ex to my doorstep. It just kept confirming the same thing. She didn't want a relationship. She wanted access. A couple things this taught me. If someone keeps calling you insecure instead of addressing what they're doing, pay attention to that. And if a person tells you to accept disrespect or leave, believe them the first time and save yourself the extra chapter. I'm single now. Quiet apartment. No secret calls from the couch. No pretending obvious things aren't obvious. Honestly, it feels lighter. Would you have ended it at the first lie about the concert, or did the deal with it line make the choice for him? And once somebody tells you they're keeping the ex no matter how it affects you, what exactly is left there to fight for?